What is going on, guys? We are back with another video. Today we're doing another realistic style rebuild. I'm Madden 22, and today it is of the Detroit Lions, a team that, well, I know decently well as I'm a Packers fan, and I know there's probably already Lions fans like, oh, here we go. This is going to be a trip. Now, it's not really going to be a trip because I can promise I only mention my favorite team a few more times in this rebuild. It'll be about you guys, I promise. Probably. But of course, the Detroit Lions, a team that, honestly, they may be complete on offense. Now, the draft definitely surprised some of us a little bit. You know, it's a team that obviously just had the second pick overall, so you're thinking it's a team that's not super great. It's a team that will be looking to grab as many players as possible rather than, you know, just going for super top-tier talent. But they decided to trade up for Jameson Williams, and I gotta say, very good move, especially when the Vikings decided to bend over and take it very deep. They literally left like a high third or a late second on the board with the trade value, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't want to mention my team again, but you compare that to the second trade Minnesota did at pick 34 to trade down, and they actually gained like, you know, kind of a high third in value. So they kind of lost that from Detroit, gained it from Green Bay, but the weird part is this went all the way up to pick 12. Jameson Williams is an elite talent, if healthy, and there really shouldn't be any, like, I wouldn't say concerns about injury in the future, but, you know, it wasn't like some, you know, consistent injury issue, so assuming he stays healthy, Jameson Williams is going to be an absolute freak for the Detroit Lions. Now, what is the situation with Jared Goff? I don't know. Obviously, they didn't really have a great identity on offense. Now you can definitely see that they should be a pretty lethal passing attack. Their offensive line actually played really well. Frank Ragnow, assuming he's healthy this year, I mean, will make for one of the better lines in the league. Left tackle's been pretty solid over the years. Guards, decent. Vaitai even was okay. Sewell, once again, we all know about the preseason kind of slow start, but he picked it up pretty quickly throughout the season. He was great. Hutchinson, this is kind of like my, what's his damn name from the Colts? Darius Leonard. My hate for no reason at all. The overrating of Hutchinson, in my opinion, I don't know, dude. Maybe I just value different things, but I hear the words one of the best tight ends every time Hutchinson, his name comes up, and I just don't see it. Now, is he in the top 10? Yeah. But tight ends being in the top 10, if you're not in the top 5, it's not like the craziest thing to be. Like, he's probably like 7 or 8. But, I don't know. I don't see it. I really don't. I mean, he's good, but he's not one of the best, as they say, right? Like, I mean, he's putting up like half the numbers some of the one of the best players is, you know, that they put up. But, you know, that's enough of that hate. Aidan Hutchinson, obviously a pretty clean, one would assume, easy pick. I will say the cornerbacks around here, I fixed this. Mike Hughes is playing the 3 for me, but I fixed this. I think the corners, there's potential. They lost a lot of them due to injury. Melifonwu was looking pretty decent. Arawari had an all-right season, obviously. What's his name? Okuda was looking okay. There's just so many injuries on this team. You even look at, you know, back at the offense, they added Chark, injured last season. DeAndre Swift, he's been injured many times now. You know, the cornerbacks, lost 2 of them, maybe more, to season-ending injuries. You just don't know what you have with Detroit. Are they pick 2 again? Probably not. But Jared Goff is also a huge question mark. I don't know what kind of season we'll see from him. I'm assuming there's healthy. There shouldn't be that many excuses for the offense to be bad. Realistically, it might just all come down to Jared Goff just not being that guy, and, you know, NFL teams finally stop giving him a chance. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's a pretty decent quarterback class coming up, so if we're trending in that losing category, we'll probably rock one of those classes. Of course, we did add all the real names from real life, except for, I think I put them all in, but not all of them are obviously going to play. Only a few will, because, you know, in Madden, the ratings are going to be pretty low. I feel like the ratings I gave are pretty fair. I downloaded a roster for this, but obviously I did change the ratings. You know, I probably should show you guys some of them. You guys are probably going to want to look at, you know, the way I have Jameson Williams rated and whatnot. So The roster I downloaded only had him at like 95 speed, 92 excel, 91 agility, which is just so slow for him. Obviously, I think he's a much faster player than that, and I do not look forward to him dominating in the NFC North. I almost said NFC East for some reason. And then for Aidan Hutchinson, I put obviously Jameson Williams at star, Aidan Hutchinson at superstar. I felt this fair. You could have probably made Jameson superstar as well if you wanted to, but this is how I have him rated. And, everyone else is kind of just normal development trait just because, they have a chance, but trying to keep it in par or on par with what EA usually does, which, they'll throw a couple of stars from, the round, like, mid, second to later, but it's not going to be, consistent. Of course, we also have James Mitchell, who I put as a 69 overall because I think he has a lot of potential. We'll be getting the long-term development trade here. We'll see what happens there. I don't think he ever has a chance to start because we have Hawkinson, but, just throwing that out there. Star dev, we'll take it. Blah, blah, blah. What does dev try? I don't care. But speaking of caring, if you are, I was about to say a Karen, that's not what I meant. If you care, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. We do a ton of franchise stuff, like too much franchise stuff, to be honest. And I think you'll like it here. And if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you watching this video. See, I remember, it's not just about new subscribers, it's also about you guys that constantly watch the video. That's not a bad loss to the Niners, in fairness. I'm going to keep it kind of equal for now. I'm not going to touch anything. I don't want to, start worrying about a next year's class when, once again, the focus is supposed to be this year's class, but also it's not going to be super accurate. I don't know how crap it's going to be. But McNeil with the first breakout. We absolutely need all the help we can get on defense. We have so many normal development trait players. Please, just get it. I'll take it. And oof. I mean, the Lions are definitely in play for a quarterback next year. Screw you, dude. They're definitely in play for a quarterback, so, I mean, is it time to rock a real class here, maybe? And then we win against the Bears, and now, I don't know what to think. So we're turning the season around a little bit, which is great because we use one of those real 2023 classes. Jack Fox is one of those guys. Well, he's a special teamer, and a team that isn't, quote-unquote, great kind of gets, they kind of pay those special teamers. DJ Chark, I have no idea how he's playing. Obviously, he got, kind of a 1 year fully guaranteed in real life, which is a little risky for a guy that was obviously kind of season-ended. But looking at how the season's going here, the touchdowns are really low. We have 8 games on the books. That's not terrible. I suppose, I think that's okay, I guess. And then Deshaun Elliott's a little bit of a confusing one as well, but I like the youth. We're trying to build a young culture of players that are moldable, so I think it makes sense to keep some of these guys around. And then, Aldrich Rosas, I mean, the kickers, it's really just, I wouldn't say a dime a dozen, but there's just so many up and down seasons, it's very hard to just, stick with a guy. He looks okay so far, so we'll give him a 2-year 4. And then as far as everyone else goes, they're all replaceable. We'll see who we want to keep. Hey! Dude, you're long-term. I still think it's just crazy how, Detroit is able to get all of these contracts. Was just all these guys just, not wanted by anyone? Mike Hughes, a 1 year, $3.5 million? That seems really low for him, no? I feel like a team like Detroit would have to pay 6 to 7 even on a 1 year deal. I know he's not great, but it just seems a little strange. I don't know if I want to pay him a 5 year, but I'm going to do it. I just think there's a little bit of real life you have to take in, but there's also a lot of Madden you have to factor. So, you see that once again the youth is there, the dev is there, the potential's there. We have a shot to do something special, and we don't do it. The reason why I say it is Green Bay went 17-0 while the rest of the division was awful. I mean, that is nuts. I don't even remember the last time I've seen 17-0 in the game. And no, this isn't about me talking about my team again. This is literally just what happened. I had to check the roster. They were 12-0. I checked the roster just to make sure I didn't, load up some wrong roster. But it's Green Bay. It's the post-draft roster. Everything's proper. They did sign Melvin Ingram and Adamakong Suh, which, maybe plays a bit of a factor there. But, as far as, what is fair. I mean, they somehow went 16-0 or 17-0, should I say. Let's take a look at the stats and awards. We did put a more pass-heavy offense. Jared Goff played, kind of like how you would see with Jared Goff, I guess. I mean, just not super precise, but the yards are all right. I will say he improved vastly. He was like 8 touchdowns for 7 picks at the 3 and 5 mark. DeAndre Swift has been awful in sim. I mean, it's just the way it is. He can't stay healthy in real life, and then in game, he just sucks. I don't know what else to tell you. He's just not good in game. I'm not sure how you fix that, but we're probably gonna have to move on from him. DJ Chark, obviously worth the contract, as he had a pretty good year. It's kind of what the Jaguars were hoping from him. That unlucky injury of him, being hurt for the year. Amon-Ra St. Brown has developed into maybe the best receiver on the entire team. It's hard to say because Jameson Williams also plays really well in his year 1 with the team. I just think that Amon-Ra, as the underneath kind of guy, just fits the best, right? I don't know. Chark, he's a little light, but I mean, I guess he's technically the number 1 here now, outside of Hutchinson, but, Hutchinson ain't lining up out wide. But looking at the offensive line play, it wasn't great, but that's Madden Sim for you. Hutchinson, 10.5 sacks, we'll take that. Aquara, 9 DTs weren't great, but they're not really... Well, I can't really say they're not really pass rushers, because, I mean, they're so bad, they're kind of not block shedders or pass rushers, or run stoppers, if you will. 2 picks for Okuda, kicking. Aldrich Rosas with a really good year. Jack Fox, pretty damn good too. Kick return. We had Trinity Benson. This team doesn't really have a kick returner because I just can't imagine, especially with Jameson Williams coming back probably a lot earlier than expected, that they would have him returning kicks. So, I don't know. This team kind of needs a kick returner, if you will. But, yeah, I mean, there was some okay individual performances, but as far as, the outlook on the season was pretty awful. Let's see if we won any awards, maybe a rookie award. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, I forgot about that. Aidan Hutchinson, though, Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll take that for sure. I've had another sim with the Lions where they took Aidan Hutchinson, and yeah, they were pretty awful with him, but they look all right here. I guess we'll click this. I don't think it's going to matter because we lost, but I'm worried that they're going to fire me. Don't do it. I'm scared. Okay, whew. Are the Packers going to completely do it? They actually did it. They didn't lose a single game. I gotta look one more time. I just have to. I honestly don't know what's going on here. Like, they have a good roster, but really? I mean, I suppose. What kind of season did, actually, Watson probably wouldn't have played. Lazard, Sammy Watkins, Cobb. Yeah, I mean, okay. Undefeated. I actually didn't look at the dev ups, but I do know Anal Zone, my man's got a dev up. Unfortunately, the cost with his age is just not right. It's a travesty, and he's gonna have to go to free agency. Same with Jared Davis. I mean, pretty much the entire starting lineup at linebacker, I suppose. But well, I mean, what can you do? Like I said, it's the progression, the potential's really not there. So free agency, Jason Kelce. Once again, I've seen him a couple times now in free agency. It's just not something I expect. He's just going to retire an Eagle, right? Like, it's just, there's no other thing to put it. Keem Hicks, maybe, actually. I don't know if, a team that's potentially the number 1 overall pick would be looking to sign someone like him, but I will say the Lions are weirdly one of those teams that just believe they're going to do things well. Like, they're just going to win, even when they don't. So, it wouldn't surprise me to see them go for, a big name like him, even though he's probably looking for a team that's, at least proven last season that they're one of the teams to beat. But, hey, 1 year, $13 million, I don't feel like he would decline that, right? That's a pretty good offer. We could use a safety, but Ronnie's not the name I'm looking for. Jayon Brown, we really do need a linebacker, though. We absolutely, we can't just draft a billion linebackers. We have to at least sign one. So we offered a few names. Let's see who we actually get, and what are the results? We get both the guys we went for. So Akeem Hicks, a huge upgrade on the defensive line. Even though I wouldn't say he necessarily fits the scheme, but I suppose, he's just good enough to just make it work. Joe Schobert, though, average, maybe slightly above average, probably about average linebacker, just to have someone there, You know, I mean, you look at the rest of the squad at linebacker, and you have no left outs. Middle linebacker, obviously, there was a little costly. It was like a 3-year 20. And then, you know, a bunch of youngsters with some athleticism, but obviously very, very rough when it comes to the actual talent. But I suppose it definitely pays to figure out what draft picks we have. Also, I probably have to trade some draft picks because obviously pick 3. Wait, does this team actually have the Rams? Well, I'm going to have to trade this anyways because the Rams, they're not pick 3 bad. I'm not sure what this is, to be honest, but we'll probably end up trading away pick 3 to a team for like 26, and then we'll just trade away 13 back to the Rams. Like, I'm sorry, but the Rams just, I mean, even with like the most atrocious injuries, they're probably at least pick 10 minimum, not pick 3. Hell, I don't even think the Lions are pick 1 next season, to be honest, unless they tank for the pick, which, I mean, we could definitely see that last year they really weren't interested in tanking. Look at Philly, though. I mean, I know they still have their picks because of, you know, it's technically not correct for real life, but, you know, it is what it is. The Jets, I think, is fair. Let the Jets pick at 3 because, you know, they're a pretty bad team anyways. So pick 3, and then you trade the other pick back to the Rams. So we're starting the draft, and as far as Jameson Williams goes, he's having you a reunited? Shit, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But we're going to be taking a quarterback, of course. You know, Jared Goff just, I mean, how many chances does the guy need? It's super 50-50. As of right now, I don't know. I feel like the consensus is Bryce Young, but it could very well change. You know, I mean, it absolutely will change. Well, I mean, most likely will change, I guess is fair, when it's closer to draft time. Very, very, very many months from now. But I just feel like Bryce Young is probably the guy as of this moment. Wow, that is a lot of speed you're giving him here. But we're going to go with Bryce Young as the number 1 overall pick. And we end up with, you know, a pretty damn good player. Philadelphia's at number 2. They got to go QB, right? Like, if you're at number 2, it surely means that Jalen Hurts isn't the guy. Really seeing Will Anderson drop. Wow, Philadelphia with a pick. Philadelphia with a draft. Tight end at 5. It is the NFC North for you, so you never know. And I'm sorry, Vikings fans, you got that title just because of the Lions and their high drafting of tight ends. We end up giving up 25 and 65 for 19 and 115 from the Raiders, and I likely will be taking a linebacker here, which I know is a little crazy, but we are desperate for the position, and there appears to be a pretty solid one up here, so I think that's going to be the pick. We're going to be taking Mr. Noah Sewell, the inside linebacker, it would appear. 88 speed, 85 excel, 79 agility, 74 change of direction. Looks to be a decent player. And then with our first pick in the second round, we're going to be taking Matthew Jones. I don't know where this guy projects in real life. You know, once again, it's super early, and you already know I'm not super, like, in tune with the, you know, college football. I think he's like a 4th-round projected guy at the moment, but he looks great here. That's all that matters. We're going to be grabbing him. He's going to be a hidden development trade player. And we got 3 quality starting players right out the gate here with basically 3 first-round picks yet again. But we're going to be going all the way down to pick 19 in the 4th round. Obviously, we need so much more talent, but once again, just back-to-back drafts of just landing high-end, really good starting quality players. And we're going to grab a defensive tackle, Kaufusi, 6'7", 300 pounds, C finesse, C power move, decent athletics, strength 85. I think he had like 37 reps. What the hell am I drafting? We're going to have another guy with the name C. Johnson on the squad, 88 speed, 90 excel. Thought he'd been a little bit faster than that, but I mean, okay. Of course, we did trade our 5th round pick for a 4th round next year. And with this pick, I'm not really sure what we want because special teams are kind of fine. Actually, we lost our fullback. Let's go for a fullback. Wow, there are none. Sweet. I'm going to grab Marshawn, 46'2". I kind of feel like maybe he is a fullback then. I think we grabbed him once before, and we actually might have used him at tight end, but he's a fullback now, damn it. Let's look at the draft recap. I mean, we obviously have taken, what is his name? Bryce Young in many different classes before, but not sure about everyone else. I don't think we've taken Sewell Definitely don't remember a Matthew Jones, to be honest. Everyone else's overall is kind of bad. Bryce Young, though, 77 overall, which is very, very good. Obviously, we want to make sure that his development trait kind of got thrown off by that face scan a little bit, just going to be honest. And I don't know what number you put on him. I feel like something like 1, 2, or 3 would be good. I don't feel like number 9 really works for Detroit. I feel like they're kind of like, yeah, well, no, let's not do that. Let's drop his awareness a little bit. 76 overall, a little bit better. And then we have Noah Sewell. I don't really care what his development trait is, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Joe Schobert, I think, is... actually, I guess I'm going to change his number, so I might as well take a look at the dev. But I think Joe Schobert's going to move to outside linebacker, and Noah's just going to play inside. And his development trait is also superstar. Interesting. We'll take it, obviously. Matthew Jones, offensive lineman, plug-and-play starter at guard. Vaitai, I don't know if you can get rid of him yet, but I'm pretty sure he had a pretty expensive contract, so I'm sure as hell hoping he can. And his development trait is star. I was wondering who had number 2. I was like, I know we have number 1 taken, but number 2, really? And while trying to trade Jared Goff, I noticed something a little surprising. Rodgers retired literally right after that season. I suppose there's really nothing more you could technically do. You have a literal undefeated season. I mean, if you wanted to try and, sneak yourself into that GO conversation with 2 Super Bowl wins, it's probably the best way to do it, right? You end with that. It's like, yeah, maybe there could have been more, but you can't blow that, right? Like, if you were to have that, 20-0 season, right? Divisional championship, Super Bowl, 20-0 season, and then you lose the first game of the regular season or something like that, kind of tarnishes it quite a bit. Or, you end up not making the playoffs, or you just lose in the first round. It's like, oh, told you it was a fluke season, I suppose it's not the dumbest thing to do, but as far as Jared Goff goes, we are saving a lot releasing him, and no team needs him right now, unfortunately. It was, like I said, the closest would have been the Packers, but they can't afford him. It's interdivisional anyways, so it's kind of like, I guess we're just going to take the L. Or in this case, since our backup quarterback is superstar dev, the dub. So more insight of kind of how last season transpired. I did have the Buccaneers playbook on, and I'm going to keep it the exact same just to kind of compare. Be a little disappointed if Bryce Young was really bad. But obviously it's a really good team. I didn't want this to kind of turn into a Bryce Young rebuild or a CJ Stroud rebuild, but I mean, there is that very high possibility Detroit is picked, in that top 5 spot quite often, in the last decade it seems. So it's a very good chance that this could happen again, especially if they do have that Rams pick as well, which I assume they do. If they get pick 5 and that Rams pick, and let's say Houston's picking top 3 again, but Davis Mills is still the guy to them. For some reason, he's still the guy. If they're that bad, maybe they'd be willing to trade down, or a different team like the Falcons or some, one of the teams that are, they just don't play well because of injury or something. You don't know. There is that chance for a trade up as well, but yeah, offense looks really good. We just need a little bit more time to develop. And then defensively, it's definitely still a work in progress as Aidan Hutchinson goes to X Factor, which is really cool. Let's see what his ability is. He has run stuffer, goal line stuff, any sort of pass rushing stuff, just run stuffer. No, it's just nothing. Superstar X Factor. I wish we'd have got something on offense. Maybe we did. I can't remember. Our Warrior, though, as Okuda, it feels like a little bit of a long shot at this rate with how his career has started. It's, for him to be the number 1, but he definitely is the number 1 here. So, maybe I should have done this with injuries on, because this is a pretty injury-prone squad, to be honest, but it is what it is. It's too late now. All right, TJ Hawkinson, one of the best tight ends. Oh, Lord. A 5-year, $72 million. He put up about 800 yards, which is... It's up there. It's definitely up there. Or Warrior, I really wanted him to be the guy. Maybe he plays future safety for us. I don't know. Great, zone coverage. Akeem Hicks might just retire. I'm not really sure what his plan is, but a 1-year 10 is, right up my alley because we just paid him a 1-year 13. So we'll see what happens. A lot of wait and see kind of situation here. Chance at the breakout. Mr. Bryce Young. He's already a superstar, so it really doesn't matter, but not too much. He made it. Okay, no one cares. Very small chance to make the playoffs, and especially with a loss, no chance. 7-10. We were pretty good, actually. We were 7-7 and lost a bunch of games in a row. Of course, Packers still doing well with Jordan Love now at quarterback, but it is an improved season for sure. Really bad start, really good middle, and then just awful finish, which really sucks. Because once again, it's not the most competitive division. Like, what is the situation? 9-8, 7-10. You know, I mean, you have Green Bay, but you only play them twice a year, so it's not really an excuse. Let's take a look at the stats and awards. Bryce Young, pretty good yards, obviously. Touchdown to pick was much better than Jared Goff, which is the first season for him. DeAndre Swift, same scheme and everything. Really good. I don't know what he did differently, but I like it. I mean, obviously played better, but Chark, great season. Williams, another really good season. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, a little bit down, but, you know, not bad. Of course, Hutchinson, another really good season for tight end. Tackles were awful, though. Hutchinson, my man, 18.5. Aquara with 8.5. DTs are a little bit better. Okuda, 4 interceptions, even more than before. Hicks with 17 tackles for a loss. Rosas, a little bit worse than last year, but still really, really good. Kick return, punt return situations looking good. Yardage, no one cares. I mean, once again, some pretty good individual performances, just not quite playoff worthy. We got Defensive Rookie of the Year back-to-back years, and that was the only thing for award wins back-to-back years. All right, Super Bowl week, and Chark is a superstar. He's 26 years old with superstar development trait, maybe just in time, a couple years early enough. Route Apprentice and Deep Out Elite, very solid abilities, actually. Bryce Young didn't go up in dev. Swift obviously didn't go up in dev because, as far as running back season, it's not great. But Schobert, the man's back to a superstar. Once upon a time, he was, pretty solid for the Jaguars, and we have him for 2 more years, and he's a superstar. So we'll take it. Any other dev ups? No to Warrior. I suppose Warrior is probably going to be our safety. We paid him a 3-year 17, I believe. We're going to put him at strong safety with that zone coverage. Hopefully that makes him like an 81, 82 overall. And it makes him an 82. Like I said, not bad. Tracy Walker, it's kind of past his bedtime for the squad. Akeem Hicks, didn't see the regression just yet. Cornerbacks up there, I think, draft pick-wise, you might be looking at a need for pass rusher. Aquara has been good, but he is kind of about to potentially, drop off really hard for us. I don't know. He's been good enough. It's just, we see what happens in these rebuilds. We have a team that's like a 90-plus overall, and even then, they don't always win the Super Bowl. And you're not going to get, that high of an overall at edge if you don't replace him. So, I mean, we're probably going to look for just best available. I think that's probably always the best bet, especially when you feel like you have a lot of talent already, which I think we do. But corner's one of the thoughts. Linebacker, I don't think we can go first-round linebacker again. Safety, I think Awarie is going to actually be, he's going to have himself a shot. DT's up there, actually. Yeah, DT's probably the number one. McNeil, though, he's still got potential. He's a good block shedder already. We just don't have any pass rush there. Obviously, Hicks is pretty good, even though he's, more of a nose tackle type. He's still really solid. So maybe DT for the future. I think, like I said, best available pick. Corner, DT, edge is probably our kind of big 3 needs. So we do officially see the regression for Akeem, and it's not terrible. It's like 88, 89 it was maybe before. Still very viable stats, obviously, or ratings. Block shed down 3, power move down 3. I mean, that's not terrible. A lot of this team's like kind of signings were younger players, so I imagine we actually do have a decent bit of freed up cap space. So if there's someone here that can fill one of the needs, why not? Of course, Terry McLaurin would be a great name. Don't see him going to free agency. Lamar Jackson, no chance. Jeffrey Simmons, we've done it before. Maybe, probably not. Allen Jenkins, maybe, probably not. Kareem Hunt, we already got a running back. Adrian Amos, very likely chance, but I think Awarie is good enough. Awarie is, solid. Davenport is actually an interesting name. I'm not sure how he's playing for them, or for how he's played so far, but he is a very talented player. However, him in free agency looking like a full beast. I almost said full snack. That's probably $20 million per year, even though it doesn't say that. Trayvon Mullen, that's probably about $15 per year. That's not a bad cornerback right there. I might have to grab him. I'm offering a 4-year $60. I think even that might be on the lower end, but it is what it is. I think it's all right. I think it helps when there's a lot of corners in free agency as well. So, yeah, his number would be pretty high, but there are some, pretty serviceable guys there as well. Safeties, I think we've already kind of said we don't need one. Warriors, he's all right. Linebackers, Bobby Okereke. If I can do like a 2-year, I really don't want to do this. If I can do a 1-year 11, I'd do it, I suppose. But if he doesn't want it, I'm not pushing for a 4-year 40. I mean, you can see we're down to 20 mil here, and we might have even more names assigned soon enough. But yeah, you have to like where the team is sitting currently. It's improving, and we're actually a decent overall already. Once again, it definitely helps when you have a lot of high draft picks. Who would have thought? We get Bobby and Trayvon Mullen. No surprises for Mullen, but Bobby Okereke was only an 84-point offer. It was, a 1-year deal. Kind of thinking maybe we overpaid Schobert a little bit, but hey, you got the superstar. What can you ask for? All right, so we have pick 9, but the thing is, we don't even have a first-round projected guy that we want. I'm going to be trading down massively here, probably to the start of the second round, and maybe take an edge rusher. So we take pick 33 this year and 21 next year for pick 9, which is, it's a little bit in their favor, but it is a weaker class. What the hell kind of weird situation is this? Like, there's a billion tight ends here. Like, are they any good? Not that I would, grab one, but 4-4-4, 40 time. What is going on here? He's a 2 to 3 projected guy, but he's super athletic. He is a B-finesse. He's 21. He can sit a year if he has to. We're going to grab Jaquez Saunders, who is hidden development trade. 86 speed, 87 excel, 86 agility. Change direction is awful, but that's a good pick. Of course, we added that first round next year on top of it. Pick 9 might be the DT. And even though he skipped the combine, I think he's a good pick because he has a power move. This could be one of those normal development trait guys, but we're going to grab him anyways. Denal, 89 strength. Pretty good, though. It looks, assuming that power move is as good as it said it was, that's not terrible. And even though you guys know I hate the 23, 24-year-old players, this guy just looks like one of those solid players that can play anywhere on the line, kind of. So, Sam McCain, that's going to be the choice. And he's hidden development trait. Even though he's 23, I'd be willing to do it in the 3rd round specifically. Yeah, we're kind of killing the class. I don't know exactly about that DT, but I imagine he's going to be really good power move, like we said. If the potentials aren't completely off. We have a really athletic middle linebacker, but he has an F zone coverage, and then we have a decently athletic corner with a little more potential. We don't really need the corner, but I'm going to grab him regardless. Obviously, those ratings weren't super great, and the middle linebackers there at 17. I really don't think we should take him, to be honest, but I probably will just to check the all the boxes. I was going to say boards, and then I said boxes, and I just, that happened. Pretty athletic, obviously, middle linebacker. That zone coverage is probably going to suck, though. Let's get another 23-year-old, but insanely fast. Jonathan Gary, I literally just looked at him here, and yeah, kind of Nwangwu vibes. Not nearly as athletic, though, but still something. Needed the depth. Add some skill position players for once. And we're going to grab Maurice Sullivan, a 3 to 4 round projected. Decently athletic. Once again, another 23-year-old, but did have an F catch. So I'm curious to see him and this linebacker with their Fs. Let's see how bad they actually are. Looking at the overalls, actually some decent ones, considering, once again, it was a weaker class, like we said. Saunders is going to be our right end. I don't know if he's going to start. I kind of want to see what Aquara's ratings are before I do anything. I can't imagine Saunders is going to be higher than Star, but maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm not going to look at it. Right end. Denal, 72 overall, normal development trait. Oh my. 88 power move. Like I said, I knew he had, good power move, but wow. That's a good pick. He's going to probably start very shortly. Of course, Sam McCain, if you were going to replace any of the linemen, it would probably be left tackle or left guard. So I suppose for now, we'll put him... I'm actually going to put him at left tackle. I think Taylor Decker has the higher chance of being replaced before anyone. And the middle linebacker is actually a 69 overall. What is that zone looking like, though? 55. Wow. He is... he's a good overall, but he is really bad. It's a bit of a yikes. Jonathan Gary with that speed and all that. His ratings are okay. What about the wide receiver, 6'5" overall? Let's say this catch. What's this catching? That's not bad. That's not an F. That guy actually kind of has potential. His route running's pretty good. Okay, lies in the corner, pretty bad jumping, pretty bad agility. Kind of felt like he was a slot corner. Don't know if I see that anymore, to be honest. All right, looking at the year for you look in the year for roster 3. The roster for year 3, obviously Chark just got to superstar. He's an 85 overall. Williams just keeps on climbing up in overall as well. Super deep threat. 98 speed, 98 excel. He's just a freak. Looking at the offensive line, you got a really good tackle. You have a really good center. You have a right guard that's getting better. The left side it's fair enough. Swift had a really good year. It'd be nice to see him build on that. We'll see, though. D-line, we have Saunders for the future, but, Donnell, he's not good in dev, but he is a good player, so we're probably going to be looking to just have McNeil and Donnell as the two DTs. We got a really good new cornerback, number 1, with Oruwariye at strong safety, so it's still made up of a couple of guys that are kind of on the older side, but we do have a lot of potential that is still, progressing, I suppose. We're having an okay season, an okay one. DeAndre Swift, we'll see how he's actually playing. I want to see individually what he's up to. It's just, with this guy, dude. Like, you just cannot expect anything. Like, you just don't know what you're getting. I mean, a 4-year 44 or a 5-year 44, I suppose. Really not playing that well, to be honest. Bobby Okereke, I don't know about that now, but Okuda, he's played pretty well ever since that injury. Kind of a couple injuries now. 5-year 50, about 10 per for a guy that's, a little above average. Not like crazy high, but Jonah Jackson, how much is he asking for? 2-year 16 is actually not terrible. He is a power blocker as well, so we're going to go with a 3-year. I was actually looking to get rid of one of the linemen. I don't think it's going to be Jonah Jackson after all. I'm going to keep him around. I suppose Aldrick Rosas, unless he's having a really down year, probably gets another contract. He's played pretty damn well for us. And yeah, 5 for 5. Not asked to do as much so far midway through the season, but still perfect regardless. So we're going with a 3-year deal worth about almost 13. And then Romeo Okwara having a pretty bad season so far, but even as a backup in the future, a 2-year, 18, 2-year 19 isn't terrible. So I'll get him back on. Maybe he'll be the backup, maybe he'll be the starter. I don't know. Bobby Okereke is a good overall, though. I don't know. I'd rather do like a 2-year 27. Yeah, we did have, it was a pretty bad offer in fairness, but outside of that, though, we have pretty much everyone we need signed up. We are in the playoffs, and we also just so happen to have a bye week. I expected an okay season. I'm trying to think of what happened, but I feel like we kind of sucked, and then we did really well. Kind of, right? Like, it wasn't like the cleanest start, but had a huge win streak, lost 2 in a row, and I was like, here it is. It was too good to be true, and then we actually turned it back around, and, here we are with the bye week. A little surprising to actually get the bye week. That would have been maybe close, but same exact scheme as before. Let's see what kind of performances we'll see with Swift. 40 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. His interceptions are still a little high, but yards are really good. Swift, a lot of touchdowns, I give him that, but, really bad performance. Season anyways. Jameson Williams, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Hutchinson, I'm going to go ahead and just knock this one out real quick. The man with the superstar dev plan. I haven't changed the scheme yet. Now, there could have been coaching change. No, it can't be because we're the coach. We're not the owner in this one. So I'm a little surprised that we're doing a little bit better considering we didn't really add anyone on offense. I know we are getting better every season in general, but still, Okwara gets back to that 8-sack total. Trayvon Mullen with 5 interceptions. Rosas has been really good. This could be a Super Bowl year. Like, it seems kind of early. It seems kind of odd, but it very well could be. I want to quickly show you guys the scheme. It's not like it's a bad scheme or anything like that, but it's not the Chiefs' offense. It is the Chiefs' defense, I believe, right? I think that's what I did. It's not the Chiefs' offense, but Buccaneers are still pretty good on offense. but, you know, it didn't help Jared Goff at all, really. The yards were good there for Jared Goff, but touchdown to pick didn't help Jared Goff. I suppose the first year for Bryce wasn't amazing. It was good, but not super great. But, yeah, a second year under the belt for some of these guys, and we really took off here. 23rd in offense to 7th. As far as, awards go, do we have anyone close? Anyone at all? CMC's just kind of killing it. Nelson Aguilar, really? I mean, we didn't win any awards, but we might have been close on a few. But a bye week. A freaking bye week. This team is in the divisional. And we have whatever the hell these are going to be. 10k XP, which, I mean, I will admit is kind of broken. I don't think it's intended that way. The running one seems to work. They don't usually give you max on the running, but the blocking one, they're like, yeah, back-to-back weeks with no sacks allowed. That's realistic. That happens, right? And, of course, we have a bunch of morale for the defense. If we actually win the Super Bowl here, this is like, there's no topping this. Like, this is just crazy early. But I suppose the team is a very good overall. I mean, it's a 91 overall. The Vikings are only an 84, so we at least probably deserve to win this one, right? Those Lions kind of killing the drafts. 7 points out the gate. Obviously, Minnesota bounces back, but they turn the ball over right away, it seems. 10-7. Minnesota's not going away. 17-14. Was that Swift? Did Swift have a huge rushing touchdown? What's going on? 24-17. I mean, that's like some sort of miracle. 24 all. 31-24. Come on, boys. Good defense. Offense isn't doing enough, though. And on 3rd and 1, they stopped them. I mean, they're going to need help. There's just no way. Is the clock running? Better not be damn running. I do not like whatever this playbook is. Oh, yeah, Tampa. Whatever this playbook is, I wonder. Is that Harrison Smith? No shot. They're going to have Harrison Smith as the deep man on freaking Jameson. It's underthrown. And Williams catches it anyways. He's a deep threat god. Touchdown on all Madden. He's too good. I mean, they did come with the pressure, which on 5 wide is debatable. And yeet! I mean, that is just a yeeting. It was definitely underthrown. We went with the jump ball. Bryant is like trying to get the pick. Wow. I mean, that does take a bit of luck, but that's insane. That is absurd. Like, Wenzel... That was kind of quick. I was thinking maybe they just had a walk-off touchdown or something. That was kind of scary. When have we ever had something like that happen in a next-gen rebuild? Like, it's just not common. Of course, Marcus Mariota, the starting quarterback for the Vikings, must have rejuvenated his career a little bit with the Falcons, get another job as a starter. Bryce Young wasn't great at all, but I suppose he didn't throw 3 interceptions. That's something. Also didn't fumble. Jeez, man. Yeah, I mean, the offense really kind of choked this one. Sewell. That might be the most interceptions I've ever seen a linebacker get in a single game. Like, that's crazy. 3 interceptions. And, of course, because of that bye week and the win, we're already in the championship round. It is San Fran. Is that the first-round pick we traded for? Or I can't remember. We were going to. One of the two. But 91 overall to the 88 overall Niners. I think it was the Jets. To be honest, I don't even remember. But on the other side, you have the Bills beating the Colts for their spot in the Super Bowl. Of course, San Fran kind of coming up big on defense. Offense with a huge touchdown. We're bouncing back, though. And at half, it's going to be 20-all. A really good resilience and a really good start to the second half. Of course, the Niners bouncing back as well. Only down by 4. Come on, Lions. Offense struggling hard. Allows the Niners to get back into it. 3rd and 18. That's a tough one. Offense. What did you do? Nothing wrong. 3rd and 12. You run the ball with the Super Bowl on the line here. Wait, what? Did they fumble on the punt return? What? I don't even know what just happened. The decision-making was just awful, but might it have worked out? That's the question here. Like, am I missing something? What happened? I'm so confused as to what is happening here. Like, it looks like they punted or something. I don't even know. I'm actually so confused. I don't care. Bryce Young, you trash can. No wonder why I look like offense sucked. He kept throwing them the ball. Wrong team, Bryce. Wrong team. course, good job by Aidan Hutchinson. Yikes on the picks. Rosad's been insane, though. I can't actually believe how good he has been for us. But here it is, Bills, Lions, Super Bowl. We are 91 overall. I can't believe we're here in year 3, though. Like, that's just crazy. I mean, let's see who the Bills had to play to get here. I know they had to play the Colts, but wild card, were they even in this? They had to beat the Steelers. Okay, I mean, kind of iffy team. The Broncos, they're not super great. Yeah, I mean, they had a kind of an easy trip to the Super Bowl themselves, to be honest. We obviously had the bye week, but they didn't have the toughest of opponents. Steelers might actually be the toughest one there, to be honest. But let's take a look at our dev-ups, as once again, this could be the last season. You can't really beat a year 3 Super Bowl from this team. Of course, we're going to have to drop Hawkinson's dev, but Bryce Young goes to Superstar X Factor. And then Jameson Williams gets to Superstar, which he gets second win and short out elite. Runoff elite, maybe? I don't know. It's not really very effective anyways. We obviously had to drop Hawkinson's dev because we literally just got him to Superstar. But I suppose, once again, it does kind of let you know that he did deserve to go to Superstar. We could do that more often, actually, but I think it's only well warranted if, it's a pretty clear-cut, good season. Defensively, any dev-ups, Bobby Okereke, who we actually did give a 2-year, $30 million deal to, goes up to Superstar, which is 3 Superstar linebackers now. And then Okuda gets to Superstar after, a 4-year 40, a 5-year 50? I can't remember. Some pretty nice dev-ups here, though, without a doubt. And, yeah, let's get into this. See if we can win a Super Bowl year 3 with the Lions. All right, come on. We got that +4 on them. Let's win. I mean, simply put, let's just win the Super Bowl. I don't want to say get it over with, but there's not really that much we could do. I like the fact that we don't have just all youngsters, right? Like, we have a couple of veteran players on the defense. 21-7, really, or 27-7 anyways. Really good start for the team. Defense, giving up a lot of drives, but not allowing them to score, and I surely shouldn't get copyright strike for the Lions winning a Super Bowl, right? Like, there's no way they would think that this is real. I'm sorry, okay? Sorry, Lions fans. And there's the trophy. That's all you're going to see from me. Take a look at the performance, and hell yes. Bryce Young showing up strong. Swift was all right, actually, receiving. St. Brown with 2 touchdowns. And he was kind of like underrated in this rebuild. Hutchinson, 3 sacks. Akeem Hicks got a Super Bowl. Quara with a sack. Jeff Okuda with a pick. Not bad. And, yeah, I mean, we just beat him. I mean, by a lot. We just smoked him. And before I bid you farewell, we will take a look at the squad. Of course, Bryce Young, 88 overall quarterback, 22 years old, super young, 93 throw power, almost said kick power, 91 deep, 93 medium, 85 short, great under pressure, decent awareness. Could definitely improve in the break sack, play action, and throw power, throw on the run, but a really solid quarterback. DeAndre Swift, who once again is just broken in the game in a bad way. He's really good. He just sucks in sim. Jameson Williams ended up stealing the number 1 overall spot based on overall. Of course, super speed demon. Okay medium, super great deep threat, which is, of course, what they kind of brought him in for, just to take the top off the defense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, I wish it would have been more short route, but really good possession receiver. And then Chark, kind of a bit of everything, but mainly also deep, as you can see there. Hawkinson, let's take a look at how good he is. 95 overall, one of the best tight ends in the league. Of course, really good catching. What about his, catching traffic is decent. Spec catch, definitely not as good. Route running, solid for a tight end specifically. A little bit on the slower side, but it's fair enough. Penei Sewell, 97 overall. Finesse god. 99 in run block and pass block finesse. He's a freak. Obviously, the power move definitely needs to be worked on, but considering as a tackle, going to be mainly going against those finesse types. Not bad at all. Matthew Jones, built completely incorrectly. Finesse guy in the interior. Frank Ragnow should be a beast. And he's not super great in that power there, but Taylor Decker, let's see how good he is. And just for the hell of it, finesse now, not good. Kind of built a little bit wrong some way, along the line there. Bobby Okereke, I don't even know why I'm looking at him, to be honest. He's kind of just... He was a huge veteran piece. He just wasn't someone we technically developed. Noah Sewell, really, really good player. It's absolute freakazoid What about Deshaun Elliott, a guy that we really didn't mention, but, you know, a guy that the Lions may get some decent playing time out of. Trayvon Mullen's not a guy we actually developed. Okuda, how good of man coverage is he? He's got really good man coverage. That's the answer. Hutchinson, how was he built? He was built as a speed rusher, and his power rush is kind of bad, but, I mean, you can kind of go either way with him. I probably would go with the power, to be honest, but, yeah, actually, I don't know. It is kind of 50-50. Aquara, how good was he? Let's see who he is. 93 power move, though. He's slow as hell, but he's got some strength on him. And then I guess we'll take a look at McNeil's block shedding, which is an 87. Pretty good, actually. Rosas, 75 overall with 160%, XP sliders. Once again, I get he's on the older side, but, like, the seasons he's had, for him to not get decent XP upgrades just because he's old is pretty harsh, to be honest. But anyways, that is going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Detroit Lions. Let me know what you guys thought. Who are you excited to see next for a rebuild as far as you being a Lions fan? If I messed up on anything, I missed something, let me know in the comment section below. Or if, in general, you're like, hey, pretty good stuff, Things you talked on were very relevant, very real. And it was, enjoyable. Maybe leave a like if you enjoyed it. Maybe subscribe if you're new. And if you're not, I appreciate your continued support. It really means a ton to me. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Tomorrow, I would say there's probably going to be no video because I just feel like after a rebuild, it's best to not upload a video because it's just such a long video usually anyways that people usually need to catch up. And I think in general, Fridays are pretty trash days for uploading. People just seem to kind of want to, chill and just do whatever they want. Fridays just seem like sucky days. Maybe I start streaming again Friday, though. We'll see. We'll absolutely see. But second channel, for sure, we'll have a video. Should be GTA, I would imagine. Got to start uploading again there. It's just, haven't had time to edit. Those are the longer edit videos. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. Let me know what team you want to see next for a rebuild. Could be on Sunday. And until next video,